everyone, my name is Caroline Sullivan. I am from Anderson, South Carolina, and I'm streaming from our home studio. This is my husband's photography studio. And today I'm going to be bringing the upper body portion of the bar workout. We worked out our lower body a couple of days ago. I hope that you've made time to go in and do that workout. It's a great workout. I'm sure you were sore for those of you that did try it. This is one of the best workouts I have ever done in 30 years of teaching, and I just want to share it with you. My goal is to work with young people and older people, all the way up to, well, 80 years old, 85, 90. Of course, I want you to consult your physician before attempting to perform any of these exercises. I assume that you know to do that. We don't want anybody getting hurt or having any problems. I'm a very safe instructor. I teach a lot of fitness classes. I teach anything from cycling, Tabata, basic step, advanced step, all group pump. I can curl 20 pounds and bench a lot of weight on the weight bench, but you know, the best classes that I have done yet are these bar classes. And I've actually broken them down to make them my own, to give them to you. They're going to get your muscles very strong. Your joints will be protected. You're going to learn how to strengthen your back today, to get those tiny muscles that line your spine, the rhomboids, and your lats that line the outside of your body up under your armpits, outside of your rib cage. We're going to work some abdominals, some biceps, triceps, all the works, rotator cuffs, all that. So just want you to get comfortable. You need a towel, always need a bottle of water, comfortable clothing. I always wear fitness attire. And of course, these are bar shoes. These are actually Nike bar shoes. You don't need those for this class, but I've just got them on for sheer comfort today. So the first thing we're going to do is you can do this workout standing or seated. So I'm going to do both ways. We're going to start by taking your feet apart, about a foot apart, abdominals in, your chest is up. I want you to focus on your body and think about your muscles. Think about your breathing. So we're going to take a deep breath through our nose, exhale out our mouth. You'll find that you get deeper breaths that way. So join me. Deep breath in. And you want to exhale out. And this way we start to begin to relax. Deep breath in. And exhale out. Start to focus on yourself. Deep breath in. And we're going to hold up and we're going to lean from the waist over to the right and to the left. To the right and to the left. And you're actually leaning in from your torso, your core. Your hips are slightly tucked under and your buttocks are lightly squeezed. So using those obliques in your waistline, reach up and crunch over to the right. Reach up, crunch over to the left. Really want you to feel that stretch. So let's do about 4 more of these. 3, 2, and we're going to begin reaching. Reach, reach. I usually use this warm up in most of my classes, no matter what they are, no matter how easy, no matter how hard, because the core warm up is one of the best things and the most important things that you can do before you start to exercise. So from that core, now we're going to actually start reaching from front to back. And I use this same warm up in the leg portion of the bar workout. This is especially important to do for the upper body. So you're going to actually push your hand in front and bring your shoulder to the back, shoulder front, shoulder back. I see sometimes a lot of this, okay? So I want you to make sure you're bringing that shoulder. If you have to, cross your hands across your chest and rotate from your core, keeping your head straight on. Try not to be looking left or right while you're doing this. You see how my form just went to shams when I did that. But go ahead and just reach or keep your arms crossed. Now we're going to go side to side. There again, just start maybe with your hands at your straps or on your shoulders or at your chest or pecs, and your hips are not moving, you're just shifting your rib cage from right to left. Same thing, you're going to go to the front, side to side. Notice I said front, side to side. We're not really going straight side to side. We don't want to build our waist up, but we are using our abdominals in the front, goodness, I'm having a mind blank. Use your muscles, your abs in the front, on the sides of your waistline right here. Your obliques, there it is, there's the word. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to do a flat back, glutes are going to push to the back, chin is always up and out, hands above the knees on the quads. You're going to tuck and roll, vertebra by vertebra. You're going to push the tailbone back again. You're going to push that chin outward, looking ahead on the floor. Tuck the hips under and roll. To show you an incorrect position, it would be this. I'd be dropping my head down and my eyes down, and then coming up from the middle of my back. That's why it's so important to keep that chin up and out, and the tailbone the opposite direction, and roll all the way up. Deep breath in, and exhale down. So I'm going to actually come and bring this chair around to the front. We're going to have a seat. So if you have a hard time standing for a long periods of time, or, it doesn't matter how fit you are, you can do these exercises sitting, so why not do them? So the first thing we're going to do is work the upper back muscles, the rhomboids that line the spine in between the shoulder blades. I'm going to turn my body around so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to straddle the chair, reach my hands forward, and instead of just pulling with my arms, I'm going to reach out as if I'm holding a bar, and I'm going to contract, then squeeze behind. Reach and stretch, contract, then squeeze behind. So that's the kind of motion that you want to have in this exercise, all right? I'm going to turn around so I can face you and see you again. So let's begin this exercise. Arms front, contract as if you're pulling your body up, holding onto a bar, and reach. Contract and squeeze. I know you're already feeling it because I do. This is going to work those tiny little muscles in your back, and before long you'll be sitting up really tall. I've noticed when I go to church with my mom and I'm sitting in the pew, I'm sitting tall and it doesn't hurt. I know sometimes your moms, most people's mothers will say, sit up tall, and you try to straighten your back, but it just, it just doesn't feel very comfortable to sit that way. And that's because our muscles aren't strong in our backs. Lots of us, we lift weights. I've lifted weights for a long time, but I've never been quite as strong until I started just doing these kind of exercises with no weights. So these are isometric contractions. So contract and pull. I'm not even using my hands. I can use flat hands and just slide. I'm going to do quite a good many of these. Contract and pull. So if you get tired and you just can't do any more, let's just say your shoulder muscles, your neck muscles are weak, you're going to feel it and you're going to have to stop. So don't feel bad about that, okay? Pretend I'm the bus driver and you can hop on and off this bus anytime you need to. And just breathe with it. So you want to, like you're rowing across a lake. Contract and squeeze, starting to really feel it. These tiny little muscles in our backs hold our chest up. If some of us are more blessed up here than others, or maybe you have a lot of weight on the front of you, it tends to pull your shoulders forward over time. So that's another big plus about this, is keeps our bodies strong so that we can live a long time and not have to depend on others to help us. We want to be nice and strong, and all these muscles, they matter. So we've done quite a few of these, so we're going to actually stop and pulse, 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 pulse. So my muscles my mind is, connected to the thought of my muscles doing this work now. And I should have said earlier, if you've had any kind of shoulder surgery, you can keep your elbows a little lower and do the same exercise. If you're okay, you can go a little higher. Shoulder level is as high as you want to go with it. So I'm really feeling this. And we're not using any tubing or anything to start with. However, if you want to make this more intense and you have a way to hook some tubing with handles around some sort of pole or doorknob, that can really work. It can really help to intensify this and shorten your time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold here, and now we're going to rotate at the shoulder. So fingertips are up to the ceiling. Rotate tabletop hands. Rotate up and out, flat. Rotate and flat. This is working that rear delt, the back side of the shoulder back here, and your medial delt. That's the muscle that people go outside on a Saturday and they decide they're going to cut all their shrubbery. And then they're so sore, they can't lift their arm the next day. They don't know what's wrong, why they're unable to, why it hurts, something's wrong with my shoulder. What am I going to do? This is why you're doing these exercises. We just do not ever need to be in that kind of position. There's no reason for it. So continue squeezing. And like I said, if you have to stop, just stop. This is your workout. Lots of you are pretty strong if you've been doing my classes for a long time. I've probably been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now. This particular kind of exercise, the isometric contractions. So I can do a good many of them. So I'm actually teaching to the person who is pretty fit. But if you are not fit and you're a beginner, even if you're 75 years old, you need to start these exercises and just stop when you have to stop. And release. And I'm going to bring my arms down. Wow, there's absolutely no way you could be slumping right now. So now we're going to stretch it out. Just push your arms forward. Drop your chin to your chest and push that back into the chair. Get a really good, nice stretch. And then we're going to sit up tall, keeping your chin front and center. Take your back elbow and just bring this front arm around across your chest. Feel a nice stretch in your upper back. You're going to go center. Pull, I won't say the word pull, but you're going to bring this elbow, bend it, and bend it back toward the background. You're going to feel the stretch. And then center, we're going to reach up overhead and then up out of our rib cage. Oh, wow, that feels so good. And then the other side, you're stretching out those lats up under the armpits that line the upper back. Oh, wow, so good. That's a super workout. So I really hope that you just didn't watch me, that you joined me. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to give our back a rest for a moment, and I'm going to turn your attention to your biceps. So what we're going to do is bring the elbows. You're going to feel your inside of your biceps just sort of squeeze or hug your rib cage. And you want your elbow joint right up under your shoulder joint. I see a lot of this, with the weights, even though, I'm constantly saying keep those joints where they're supposed to be. Your joint is a hinge, and it's not meant to throw that weight around. So you want to keep it hugged into your body, stacked up under your shoulder joint, and you're going to act like at first, let's just say you're picking up 2 pails filled with water, but you're going to pick those pails up using your bicep. So chest is up, hug your biceps into your rib cage and keep them there. Pick up that pail, and you want to pretend in your mind you've got 2 heavy pails of water, and you're going to squeeze up and let it down. Squeeze up and let it down. Exhale on any lift, push, or pull, or any lowering down motion. Any lowering down motion is called a negative, and a lift is a positive. So you're using this bicep, and I want you to make it talk. Take a peek at it. What's it doing? Is it moving up and down? Make sure that elbow's moving up, not elbow, but that bicep is moving up and down. What we don't want is to squeeze and have our elbow come up like this and then let it down back to the back of you. Keep it tucked, squeeze up and down and up, and your elbow is just, it's just hinged. You're hinging right here. Squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And you're going to get so much definition in your biceps if you've already been a workout person, if you've been doing this for a long time, 30 years or so. Some of you that are watching have probably been in my classes for a long time. We've been together a long time, guys. It's 1989 and earlier. I think I started when I was probably 15 or 16 in this town, Anderson, South Carolina. Squeeze and squeeze. I'm feeling it. Oh my gosh, my biceps. I feel this just as much as when I'm curling 20 pounds or 10 pounds with nothing. So once you get this kind of motion down, then you can decide what kind of weight that you're going to lift. If you're going to add 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 6 pounds, 10 pounds, and pretty soon you'll be up to 20 pounds and you'll just be lifting that 20-pound dumbbell just the way I'm lifting nothing, because this muscle will be so strong. It's amazing. So we're going to hold it right here, and then we're just going to squeeze and squeeze. And I find if I pull the heel of my hand toward my shoulder, I really enunciate, the lift, the crunch into that bicep. So you can try that technique, squeezing in, squeezing in, squeezing in, squeeze, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and release. Shoulders up, back, and down, up, back, and down. Just roll those shoulders. So now we're going to stretch the bicep by extending our arm, gently placing our fingers on top of the inside of our hand right here on our fingers, and just holding it. Okay, just holding it, and you get a nice stretch through your bicep. If you added weights, you can actually hold those weights and turn them out, just like this. Hold your weight like this, and just open up your arm and let your biceps stretch that way. That's another way to get a good stretch. But always stretch after every single exercise. You'll find that stretching is going to prevent you from getting injuries. It's just you're going to tell a big difference with stretches. So if you work the front of the muscle, we're actually going to work the back of the muscle. So I'm going to go straight to the tricep. The tricep is the muscle that lines the back of the arm. And you can use weights with this or not, but I'm going to show you the proper technique. Now, when teaching classes all these years, I see a lot of this, a lot of swinging, swinging. And it's probably our fault that we didn't tell you any differently at the time. But I'm here to show you something different. So you're going to push the chest out, and you're going to bring those elbows in again. You're at a 45-degree angle. Your hands are at your hips. So you're going to start right here at your hips. This is your launch pad. So you're going to start here, and you're going to end here. You're going to pretend you're really pushing a lot of weight behind you. And then you're going to pull, stopping at your hip. Push and pull. Push and pull. Take note that my elbow is not dropping. It's not dropping. It's like a scarecrow. If you can have an imaginary bar behind my back, pretend you see that. My arms are hanging over that bar. That's where you want your elbows to be. You want them in the same spot. You want to start and stop at the hip. So push and push. And you want that full extension. I'm going to turn to the side for a moment. Sometimes I see this, a lot of wrist motion, okay? And it's hard for me to stop that when I'm walking around the room, making sure everybody has good form. You're just pushing with the heel of your hand right here, okay? I'm just pushing. This is like a front motion. There's no wrist involved. Pushing to the back. Push to the back. Now there is a technique where you can turn your palms up, but I'm actually turning from the forearm. So that's another technique just to kind of put a little more intensity into it. Push, and we're going to hold back. And now we've got a straight extended arm. We're just going to lift, lift. Push the chest out. Anytime you feel like your shoulders are starting to round, pop that chest back up and squeeze, 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 squeeze. We're probably getting into about 2 or 3 minutes now doing these. Last 2 and 1 and release. There you go. There's your triceps. So you're going to take your hand either below or above your elbow joint, never on the joint. I'm going to choose above. Keep your head straight. Bring that arm across. Get a nice stretch in your shoulder. And if you've ever had shoulder problems, just touch your hand to your shoulder. Gently go up behind the elbow and lift as high as you can. But if possible, go ahead and take those fingers and touch your back. Just like this. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there you go. If you can hold the stretch, that's where you want to be. So we're going to drop, go the other way, chin is front, nice stretch in the shoulder, hand up under that elbow, touch the fingers to the middle of the back. If you're just not there yet, you're a beginner, you've had shoulder surgery or shoulder problems, shoulder pain, you just want to put your hand on your shoulder and just lift that elbow as much as you can, as much as possible. All right, we're going to shake that out. So we've done biceps and triceps. We've done rows for our rhomboids. We're going to do a little lat work now. These are the muscles up under our armpits, okay? So I want you to think about that muscle. These are just extenders and grippers, okay? So sometimes I remember, not too long ago thinking about doing shoulder presses. You're thinking about the shoulders, really, more so than the lat, but really, there again, your core is the main thing that's involved, more so than the shoulder. So the safe thing to do with this, before using any weight, is think about the muscle here and do this exercise without any weight. So you want to line up your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder joint. So if your elbow's right here and you're trying to push, that's another exercise. We're going to start by pulling them in like this. So I want you to pretend like you're putting a heavy box of your fine china in the attic because your kids aren't going to want it, right? So you're going to take that box in your palms, your grippers, and that weight is going to be sitting on these lats. And these lats, these are your powerhouses. That's your engine, your car engine, for instance. So you're going to actually take those lats and push up. And then you're going to use the lats to elevate the weight back down. And you're going to squeeze. You're going to feel those lats squeeze. Push up, lower it down. I'm really feeling it right off the bat. Push up and lower it down. So if you are pretty fit and you kind of know what you're doing and you want to use weights, you can just put those weights in your hands. Push up using your lats up on your armpits. Lower down. Push up, lower down. Starting to really feel it. Getting pretty strong, pretty intense. Be sure to exhale, breathe. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and then exhale. Exhale again. So you want to breathe in between those exhales, of course, but you want to exhale on the lift and the lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift. And that's plenty of those. Oh my gosh, your upper back is talking. So you're going to stretch your chest forward in this stretch. Just feel a nice stretch in the spine. Chin is up and out. Tailbone is opposite. Tuck the lower back. Push into your hands on your quads and roll up. Again, stretch forward. Tuck the lower back. Push and roll. And then another exercise is to place your hand on your right quad. Take your other hand across your calf muscle. Turn that chin in the direction of your hand. And keep the chin up. Drop the elbow. And then roll up. Other side, hand on the quad, hand across the calf muscle, turn that head in the direction of the hand, drop down, get a nice stretch in the upper back, and then roll up and feel the stretch through those muscles. Last time, stretch forward, and then tuck and roll, and then push the hands out, come across like we did in the beginning. Other side, center up over the ear. I hope you're feeling great right now. You're halfway through this workout. Hand down. So one more exercise we're going to do for the lats is a wide grip pull. Same thing. You're going to pretend as if you're gripping a pole. These are your extenders. This is the powerhouse again. So you're going to contract and pull your body up, almost like a chin up. It is a chin up actually. And reach, contract, and pull. Reach, contract, and pull. If you ever use one of those universal machines in the gyms, this is the form that you want to have when you're doing this exercise. It's not just a yank, you know. I know we see that going on 24/7. Get the contraction, then pull. You want to work the muscle. You don't want to fly through it, ripping through all of it, you know, yanking your joints around and pulling your muscles, and, you know, it's just not good. It's the whole reason I'm doing this video. Take a deep breath, exhale, reach, deep breath, exhale, reach and pull, and deep breath. You can do many, many, many of these. In class, even with the seniors, we probably do, you know, 2 to 3 minutes of these. Last two. Last one, we're going to pulse, 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 pulse. And I can leave my hands released, my fingers, and just use my muscles. I'm pulling down and back. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. That felt great. I'm going to stand up for a moment. Bring my chair to the side, push it in front. And actually, I'll take this to the side, I believe. We're going to extend and push back. Keep your knees bent. Really reach. Keep your chin up. Feel that stretch in your lats. Now you're going to tuck and roll. We're going to bend our left knee and left elbow and drop. Feel the stretch in our lat muscle over here. Stretch. You'll feel it in your hip. Center up. Other side. Right knee. Stretch. Again. Bend the knee. Stretch. I'm feeling it. Opposite knee. You'll feel it in the opposite lat. Other side. Bend the right knee. You'll feel it in the left lat. Or whichever knee that you're deciding to use. And then both knees. Center up. Push the knees front. Tailbone back, chin is up, and then tuck and roll up out of it. Wow, that was great. So now the next exercise we're going to do, we're going to go into the abdominals. I'm saving chest for last. You can do these lying on the floor, or you can do these standing or seated. Standing, I think, is easier, even if you're in the older generation, 75 to 85. We're not going to be standing that long. But this is the same thing we do lying on the floor. This is an intense lower abdominal workout. So you're going to sit like you're sitting on your glute, like you're sitting on a bar stool. Soft knee, extended leg. Okay? Turn the ankle up. Connect your mind to this lower abdominal area. Okay? And you're going to use this lower ab to lift your foot. Lift your foot. And lift. And lift. This is also a leg workout, by the way. But you can lie on the floor in this same position with your hands behind the nape of your neck and push your bra strap area into the ground, or your bro strap. I kid around with the men in my classes about that. That came off of Seinfeld, the bro. Use that lower ab to lift. I have seen where if you have a belly situation, you know, that's got the overhang going on. If you just lean back a little bit and lift and stretch, you're really going to target way up under that lower ab muscle. Lift and stretch. Lift and stretch. Let's do 4 more. Last 3. Just 2. And 1. Now, that's the lower ab situations. You're going to take the foot behind you, tilt the hip toward me, and then drop your knee down and feel a stretch in your quad, because you did work your quadricep as well. It's a 2-for-1 exercise. Take the same arm as the leg, drop that knee, sit back a little bit. You always want this front knee right over the ankle, nothing forward. So adjust your body for that. And release. Now we're going to do the other side. So soft standing knee, extend, ankle turned up, abs in, and lift, and lift. Exhale, exhale. One side might be easier or harder than the other. Exhale, lift, and lift. Let's do 16, and 15, 14. Are you feeling it? I think it's 12, 11, 10, and 9. Here we go with 8. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5. Final 4. Last 3, and 2, and 1. Release and step back. I do have other classes where I do these moves on the floor using weights, you know, where you lift with the weight at the same time you're lifting your leg. It's a great workout. Arm is over the ear, and please be sure to see those videos. Those are coming soon. I'm going to have a whole library full of 30-minute videos for you to use. So I'm just real excited about this. Push this chair to the front again. We're going to stretch, push back, push that tailbone back, and bend the left knee or right knee, whichever one that you're using at the moment. And then the right, stretching out those lats again. I'm doing this because you do feel some of this, the contraction in those legs and hips. You just really feel it. So I'm loosening up and stretching that back. Roll it all the way up. Here we go. Back to the chair again. These are, we're going to do chest. These are your pecs right here. And lots of times, people will use a ball, a squishy ball. This is not a squishy ball. This is like a 6-pound ball. But you can squeeze into it, squeeze into it, squeeze into it, and you'll feel it in your chest. Squeeze, 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 and contract. Now this is I'm going to say this exercise that we're doing today using the chest. There are many, many ways to work the chest. This is one where you don't have to get on the floor. I do a whole other type of exercise where you do these on the floor, on all fours. So there is a way to do that, and I will be filming a video using that kind of way to do it. You can stand in the doorway with a hand on either side of the door, and you can do chest presses standing in the doorway. It works your back, your triceps, and your chest. And you can also do this exercise if you're a senior and you don't want to get on the floor. This is what I suggest, squeezing in. So if you don't want to use this ball, you can put that down. I contract, just push. So it's kind of a downward push and a squeeze. And if you look down, you can see how hard your chest is, squeezing and contracting. So 8, 7, 6, 5, and that's not all. 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to do quick ones. Quick, squeeze, squeeze. If this is all you got, and this is all you can do, do it. What are we waiting on? You can sit in a chair and do these while watching television. Squeeze, squeeze. And if you work your upper back, You got to work your chest. You got to do it. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Hold the chair and lean forward. Open up the chest. And lean back. You can hold the bottom of the chair and you can lean sideways. You feel the stretch all the way up the side of the spine. You can also just push that shoulder out. Feel the stretch through your traps. This is where a lot of the tension is. It lands here when your back muscles are not strong. A lot of tension will fall here from having too much up here, not enough back muscle, too much down here, and the weight of the world. So everything lands here in these traps. You can also turn your chin gently toward the upper shoulder. Turn your chin to the lower shoulder. And center. And oh wow, that felt good. Other way. This is one of our favorite exercises in class. Turn the chin up toward the shoulder. Down toward the shoulder. Easy does it, by the way. Center up and down. You can also take those elbows in, hands by the ears, chin to the chest. Try not to pull on the neck. You're just supporting it. And then up and open like a butterfly. Feels so good. Bring it in. My husband does these. And up. He was actually told by an acupuncturist that this would release his traps. He had a knot about 3 inches deep. Center up and open and chin down. Up and open. Wow. And release. All right. We're about to come to a close. I've got a few more things I'm going to do and we'll be complete with this workout. So I just stretched these out, but what I'm going to do now is roll them. So I'm going to let these muscles lift my shoulders, and then I'm going to circle them back and stretch downward. If you want to hold weights, you can, but you really don't need to if this is one of your first times exercising. But if you are holding weights, let those muscles lift the weight, shift backwards, downward, and around. Lift, shift backward, down and around, up, down and around. And you can do as many as 8 to 16 to 24 of these, and then stretch. So you can lean forward again, forward, 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 and then sideways. Again, I'm just lightly going to do these lightly, and the other way. Last and not least, we're going to do abdominals. You're going to take one weight or a ball, whatever suits you best. You're going to bring your elbows in right here. What we're going to do is keep our chin front, eyes centered. Reach that elbow out to tap the top of the knee. You know, sometimes I'll say that all day long and I still see this. But if you would just reach out and keep that chin out, tap and back up. This is the same thing as lying on your back on the floor, pushing your back into the floor, and reaching toward your knee. It's the same thing. And you're going to get the same results. Sometimes more. Lots of times I feel this more than I do if I'm lying on the floor. So just reach out toward that knee. Be sure to keep your chin up and out and your eyes directed straight ahead. That's called spotting. I learned that in ballet. Find a spot to look at straight ahead and stay with it through the motion. And that way you're not losing your form, you're keeping form, and you're keeping balance. So we do many of these in class. I'm probably going to do 4 more of those. They'll probably make 16. I'm pretty good at counting without music. I can hear it from teaching for so long. And last one. Now we're going to go tempo, but closer in. Tempo, side to side. Notice my eyes are straight ahead. My chin is up. Crunch, crunch. I'm really feeling it in my abdominals. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next motion. Elbows in, arms are out. You don't have to have a weight. You can just clasp your hands together. Keep your chin and eyes straight. move from your abdominal core area, turn and turn. So I'm not just using my arms. I am turning my torso. My eyes stay front, front. Eyes stay front, side to side, right? I'm just turning right in front over my thigh. I'm not going back like this. I'm using my spine. I'm not looking around, talking. Keep that form. Looking straight ahead, straight ahead. Turn from the core. Turn, 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 turn. Let's do 16, 15, 14. Are you happy? Are you smiling? Keep smiling. We're almost done. Final 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now tempo. You want to go right in between your thighs right here. Keep the elbows tucked. Just turn and turn. Turn, turn, side to side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that is plenty right there. So we're going to come to the edge of our chair. Take a big deep breath in. Stretch back, exhale, up and over the ear. Oh my gosh, that felt so good. Other side, up and over that ear. Other way. This time come around, tuck the back. And around, draw a circle. Reverse. Come around. Circle. And center up and down. Shoulders up, back, and down. Want to thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you again with the next video workout. Goodbye.